Please remind me also, Layla, that I have to fix your volume because I guess last week I turned my microphone down nice and low so people can't hear my kids running around acting a fool in the background, but then your volume be all high. So I'm going to turn your volume down when I bring you on here. What up, y'all? As we're live at the same time, I'm talking to Layla. Layla's on here in our green room. She's going to be our coaching student for tonight. What is up, everybody? Who had fun with us on Facebook and the Clubhouse app? We're going to be live every Monday, 4 p.m. on the Clubhouse app. And by popular demand or request, or whatever you want to call it, we'll also be live. Hello, regulars. We'll also be live on Facebook. So Mondays, 4 p.m. Facebook, Clubhouse app, 5 o'clock we're on YouTube. And every week I'll be bringing on one of you guys for coaching. We're also going to start having some amazing interviews. I'm going to bring on live interviews. So you guys will be able to ask these people questions. So we're gonna bring on some great experts, and then also in all walks of student life, right? Because I want to support you guys as students globally, right? Not just in any one thing. I want you guys to have everything you need to be successful. So we're gonna be covering that with the whole spectrum of experts, and then we're also gonna be bringing students on just to kind of talk about their experience, because I know we look at getting to medical school, or we look at getting an A, or we look at college as one big accomplishment, one big end goal. But oftentimes we have to recognize, and the key to being happy and the key to being successful is that we recognize there are little moments along the journey, that those little victories are the changing moments, are the difference. And so we want to highlight those by bringing on some students who have had little victories that really we want to magnify. And we want to point out that you guys should be celebrating every moment that you guys are achieving and everything you guys are doing and being successful. So I'm going to hit the intro. If you guys don't know, I'm Dr. Pinesett. I'm the study doc. We are here. We are live action. I am at the Study Doc across social media. If this is your first time joining us, live action on YouTube, live action. Make sure you take a second, subscribe, toggle the little bell for live notifications so you can get on here with us. I'm bringing you guys greatness to help you guys be incredible students, help you guys be amazing, efficient pre-meds, and help you guys reach your goals, guys. Because if you're here, right, you're not here for fluff. You're here because you have a big dream and you want help realizing it. So that's what we're here to do, is to help you guys get there. So I'm going to hit the intro, and then we're going to go live at it with Layla. We'll be back. But stop making excuses. Stop whining. Stop, right? Get at it. No excuses. Just dominate. All right. Live action. Live action. I'm going to bring in Layla here in a second. Here we go. If you guys want to be, before I bring Layla on, so we're going to do live coaching every single Monday. If you guys want to be the coaching student, here's how you can be that coaching student. Every single week, I'm going to pick a student from my Cult of Greatness group. This is my free Facebook group. You can join our group. It's the Cult of Greatness group, the hashtag COGG. You can join our group, and every single week, if you comment and say, listen, I'm going through this, I'd love to get coaching on this, I'm going to pick a student who I think has an interesting situation that will be of value to people, and then we'll come on here and we'll coach that situation, that scenario. So here we go with Layla right now. My computer's, of course, trying to update right now. Let me bring you on, Layla. Add to my right. Oh, it worked. Okay.
Hi.
Can everybody hear Layla? Layla, say a sentence. Say the alphabet.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
I'm just messing with you. Okay, so Layla, introduce yourselves. While Layla's speaking, let me know if our volumes are about the same height, whatever you want to call it. Let me know that you can hear both of us similarly, and she's not blowing out your eardrum, and I'm not like this shadow figure whispering in the distance. So Layla, introduce yourself. Welcome, everyone. Layla is here. We are live. Layla, is this nerve-wracking?
No, not at all.
Oh, she's not nervous at all, so never mind. Don't hype her up. Do hype her up, guys, because even though she's not nervous, it's a really cool thing that she's offering to come on here to have us all learn from her. So make sure you guys hype her up. Let her know in the box you guys appreciate her. Layla, introduce yourself. What's going on?
Okay, so I'm like right now I'm 20 years old, and I did my CJEP in Quebec for 3 years. And now in university, I went in fall. But okay, so to be more specific, in CJEP, I did a DEC in social sciences. And then in uni, I switched to science courses. And it was in the pandemic. So 5 weeks into my university, I actually ended up having like huge mental breakdowns. I was really, really anxious. I really lacked motivation, but that happened in 3 weeks as well, and even in 2 weeks. I was burnt out, and but although I had these issues, I really loved my courses. I really loved science courses. I love learning, and my aspiration is to become a really good doctor, a family doctor. And basically, my issue right now is that, okay, so 5 weeks into university, I dropped out because I was just way too overwhelmed. And I decided to take my courses back in the winter. So what I did in between was that I took Dr. Pinesett's course, which was the Five Pillars course, and I did one third of it. And honestly, it really helped me. It made me feel more confident and competent. But now my issue is that I'm trying to prepare for my courses, but I'm still procrastinating. I'm still something is holding me back. I have mental barriers, and I have this issue of being like a bipolar student where sometimes I do great, sometimes I'm really productive, and sometimes I just feel like studying is impossible. I feel overwhelmed and anxious and procrastination. So I think my schedule needs to be rechecked. My study routines, my study habits, um, and yeah.
Okay. I'm listening as you're talking. I'm writing some things down so we can have some notes here. So, how many of y'all are in a similar situation? So, Layla mentions she starts school, right? And everything's feeling good and great for a couple weeks. And then we're slowly hitting that grind. We're being like kind of worn down, worn down, worn down. And reach the point, we go from feeling overwhelmed, we go from feeling underwater to feeling sunken and feeling completely burnt out. And she called it a mental breakdown where you just like you can't go forward. You just have to sprawl out of the bed and call it a week, call it a semester, and you just can't go forward, right? How many of you guys have experienced that? Okay, everyone's like everyone, all of us, right? This is the experience, right? So wait, let's see. Someone said something. Move my mic closer to me. Okay, sorry. You guys want me yelling at you guys? I thought I was already a yeller. You guys really want me to be yelling? Oh, let me make sure we can all hear. Sorry, Layla, we're gonna get this right. Can everybody hear me now? Can I yell now? Am I louder now? Can
Yeah,
you hear
you're
me?
louder.
I'm louder
Yes.
now. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I'll yell at the same time too because my kids don't need to sleep tonight. I'll just yell while we're on here. Um, so Layla's been going through a lot of ups and downs, struggles here, struggles there, struggles everywhere. Um, and the she smartly, and actually let's start there. So you had a transition in your education.
Yes.
You loved learning, you loved school prior to that transition.
I
What
always
made you
did. Yeah.
say it again?
I always did, but even in high school and CJEP, I struggled a lot.
Yeah. So in high school you struggled. When we talk about struggling in high school, right? So what made you struggle in high school? When if you were to look back on it now, you're a wise older student now. Why was high school a struggle for you?
I had zero motivation. I did not really have a vision for my life, but now I do. I procrastinated a lot and I wasn't focused. And I had difficulty with speed reading. I actually didn't even know speed reading was a thing. So yeah.
Okay. And are you a speed reader now?
I learned some techniques, so I'm definitely better than before, but I need more improvement and
Wonderful.
practice.
Thank you for saying that. Okay. So what's interesting, right? So you struggled in high school for that. So now let's talk about at university. What do you think has been you mentioned being the bipolar student, we're going to talk about that. But why do you think you mentioned your schedule, your routine, your habits, you mentioned everything. But if you were going to really look at it, what are some of the big reasons that you've pinpointed, right? In my course I teach you guys it's very important to self-analyze. When we have a failure, when we have a letdown, right? And you had a situation where you got to the point where it was so bad, you're like, no, I'm going to drop out. I'm going to reset. I'm going to get in Dr. Pinesett's 5 Pillars course, and then I'm going to go back at it. So what made you drop out? What was it at that moment, at that point, that was like, no, I got to stop and rewind and go backwards? What was that?
So what made me drop out was I was not feeling in control. I had panic attacks that I've never experienced in my life. It kept getting worse, and I didn't even know what I was doing. I had chaos and uncertainty, and I felt like I couldn't keep going anymore. I wasn't motivated. I was burnt out, and I needed to do better. So I knew your course would help me to have a better start.
Got you. Okay. And so when you said that control part of it, I think that's something we need to touch on. Is when you said you felt out of control, what do you mean by that?
There was too much material and too little time.
Okay. So how does that manifest as being out of control? And I say this because what you're describing is the biggest issue you've had, right? As we talk about your high school, your university, you bring up this procrastination. You mentioned being this bipolar student. And the bipolar student, for you guys who have not heard this term before, this is a term I teach my students, is the bipolar student is an archetype of a student, right? Is an avatar, that's a better word, of the student. And the bipolar student, and I want you guys to tell me if this is you, where you love school 1 minute, you're great at school 1 minute, and then the next minute you hate school, you're overwhelmed, you're struggling, grades are bad, everything's terrible, right? So 1 week, oh my gosh, bright shining stars. The next week, it's rain clouds, lightning is striking me, everything possible that bad can happen happens. Like the bipolar student, right? And Layla's cracking up because she's like, dang, that's my life. That's what I mean by the bipolar student, because I described it to her. But right, you guys recognized, yes, the failed poet rapper. My students are coming through. We just talked about, we were on Facebook and Clubhouse app, and we were talking about, Dijon brought up Moana, and he brought up the How Far I'll Go song. Layla, do you know that song from Moana?
I have no idea.
You never seen Moana?
No.
This is the reason your grades have not been where you want them. You have not seen Moana. This is crucial homework for everyone. You must go see Moana, everyone, right now. But there's a song, and the song goes like this. In the rain, in the sky, in the tide, in something. Now far, and basically she sings a song about how far she'll go, right? And it's basically she determines how far she goes in this journey. And for you guys, right, when you are this bipolar student, when you are the student where you are here, where you are there, where you are everywhere, and you can't be consistent, one of the big issues, and I'm glad you brought it up because that means you've been listening to my course, right? You're a third of the way through, is that oftentimes when we procrastinate, when we are not on task, the reason we procrastinate, the reason we are off task, the reason we do avoidance behaviors is because we feel out of control. And when we talk about out of control, you mentioned feeling like there's too much material, too little time. And what you're really saying is I have too little time to learn everything I need to learn. I am not going to be successful in this pursuit. And so when something is, right, it seems impossible, right? When we don't feel like, okay, if I put work in, I'll be successful, or if I put work in, I'll get to that destination, right? We don't move forward, we don't put our effort in, we don't go, and instead we procrastinate. And so the key, if we're trying to go from being this student who procrastinates, we have to understand where the procrastination comes from, and it comes from a lack of control, a lack of seeing a route, a way to create success, a way to make our effort worth it. Because the worse than failing is giving everything you have and failing. That's how people look at it, right? That's what people think. I don't think that way, but people think, man, if I put effort in and then I fail, that's worse than if I never tried. And so what our natural thing to do is not to try, is to procrastinate, is to pull back, is to be the bipolar student. Where we're going well, because at the start of the term, we've got infinite time, we feel like, right? Oh, okay, I got 16 weeks. Yeah, it's a lot of material, but I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to get through this. And then all of a sudden, right, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks go by, and now we're a week into the class and we're already a month behind. Snap! Snap! It seems like impossible. So we quit. We procrastinate. We quit on ourselves. And so what we have to do is understand that it comes from that place of being out of control. And that sense of being out of control, being uncertain of the outcome. And the analogy I always use is dating. The reason we don't approach people when we're out is because we're scared they might reject us. We're scared about the outcome. We feel comfortable talking to people we know. Why? Because the outcome now is fixed. It's determined. I know they like me. I know they'll talk to me. I won't face rejection. So we walk right through that plank. Okay. And so what we have to do is get to a place where we're studying is like our friend. We're classes is like our homies, right? We're tight. We're like this. We know what the outcome's going to be. The problem is, for most of you guys, you've had so much failure, so much letdown in your academic career, right? And we talk about this in 5 pillars, that you have this PTSD from your past failure, where you constantly, the thought of studying brings back all the times you studied and failed, brings back all the pain of that failure. And so it's like reliving all those moments over and over again. And it comes back in a rush in that moment, and it's devastating. So what we have to do is we have to reframe ourselves as a student. As I'm always telling you guys, the mind has to lead. The mind has to lead. We have to believe before we can achieve. So how do we change this narrative? First thing, are you ready?
Yes.
The first thing we have to do is that we have to create a framework for our failure. We have to reframe our past failures. When people ask me, hey, Dr. Pinesett, you're wildly successful, but I feel like I'm always failing. Do you have any failures? What's your biggest failure? So Layla, ask me what my biggest failure is.
I ask?
Yes, you ask me what my failure is.
Okay. What is your biggest failure?
I don't have any failures. No, I'm just joking. Right? That's honestly how I feel. I have no failures. Truthfully, I've never failed in my life. And the reason I say that is because I've reframed my perspective on failure. Okay? Such that every single failure is not final. And for you, Layla, maybe, and for other students, maybe you guys read this, you feel like failure is final. It's final. I can't. Oh my gosh, this failure is forever. They've labeled me. I'm the dumb kid. I'm this. I've got the F. Medical school's not going to want me. I want to become a family practice physician and change people's lives, but no one's going to want me because I'm this failure of a student. We see failure as final. We see failure as lasting for forever. But the truth is failure is just the way to success. Every single failure you have, I talk about the self-analysis. We have to create what I call, right, the low light reel and the highlight reel. So too often you guys have a negative low light reel, right? All the failures, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassing, whatever. When I look back at my past stumbles, my past failures, the example I'll give you is I failed calculus. Oh, snap. I failed calculus. Big fat F. Many of you guys, when you fail a class, it's like a scarlet letter. You're like, that F? It's all you can think about. It's going to keep me out of medical school. My parents aren't going to love me. Everything. Right? That's all you think about, right? Layla, you're laughing because that's how you think about it, right? You're like, I cannot come back from this. That's why I hate, and there's a lot of posers on the internet, right? We can be real and honest. A lot of posers on the internet. There are people out here who are telling the bull lie that, oh, you know what? I can't get to medical school because I had one bad year. It's not true, guys. It's not true. When you have a stumble, when you have an F, when I had that F in calculus, it could have been a blemish. And I was sad for like a day. I was super sad. I was like, what am I doing? Like I was doing so well. And this is after I got my academics together. After I was a great student. After I was studying like no hours every week. I was studying 10 hours a week. I was crushing the game. Killing the game. And then I got that F. And I'm like, wait, what? Something. I was sad. But then I looked at it and I said, wait a minute. I'm not a failure. I know exactly why I got that F. I didn't take the class seriously. Calculus is a whole new language. I didn't take the time to read the book like I normally do. Doing practice problems, nope. I didn't do any practice problems like I should have been doing. Not enough. I never went to office hours. I got 3 weeks behind in the course. I didn't do nothing for the first 3 weeks. That first midterm hit me, did nothing. Right after I failed that first midterm, I chalked it up to nothing because I thought I was so great at medicine. I got a big head, and I thought, or so great at medicine, so great at math. I got a big head. I didn't go ask what I did wrong, and I was making up on the next one. I wasn't focused on calculus because I didn't enjoy it, because calculus isn't real math. I'll hold that belief till this day. And so what I do, I avoided the calculus and I went elsewhere. And so when I broke this down, I recognized that the reason I failed calculus, not because I was a failure, because I failed to be my best. I failed to deliver. I dropped the ball here in a million ways. And while that to some of you guys might seem sad, and you might be like, oh, I don't want to look at myself like that. You look at yourself that way because then what you recognize is you have this power. The affirmation, guys. Everything I am or ever will be is a direct result of me, my effort, my care, my focus, and my attention, right? And my decisions. Everything I am or ever will be is a direct result of me, my effort, my care, my focus, and my decisions. We have to take responsibility, and we have to hold ourselves accountable. If we can do that, it's powerful. It doesn't hold you down. It actually lifts you up, because you recognize then that the reason when you fail, it's not out of your control. It's not something you can't change. It's not something that you can't do better on, because it is all within you. So when I look at my calculus class and I can break down all the things I did wrong, that empowers me to go back and say, oh, wait a minute. When I retake this class, this is easy. All I got to do is start early. All I got to do is take it seriously, make sure I'm giving it the time it deserves. I got to make sure I'm reading everything. I got to make sure I'm doing more practice problems. I got to make sure I get help early on, because I know I'm going to struggle at this. I got to make sure that, right, all these little things. So I retook calculus and I got a great grade in it. That's how you want to reframe. Go back before you start school again and reframe all your past failures and look at exactly how it was your fault. Not in a blaming way. We got to be clear on this, y'all. We're not blaming ourselves. We're holding ourselves accountable so we can fail up. So we're taking failure from being final to being a stepping stone, to being a lesson, to being a learning opportunity that we can springboard off of. We're going to fail forward. Does everybody understand what I'm talking about right now with this fail forward? We're not blaming ourselves. We are being clear. We're being precise so that way we can, right? We can maneuver, we can move and shake. We can make an adjustment to what we're doing. Layla, does that make sense to you?
Yes, it makes a lot of sense. Can I be honest?
Yes.
I actually failed, quote unquote. I failed 3 times calculus. That's like my worst one.
So you understand about the calculus. You failed calculus 3 times. Okay.
Yes, but I love calculus. I really do. 2 times I didn't get the grades. I actually didn't put the work in. That was the issue.
Yeah.
The 3rd time, as I mentioned, I dropped out like in 5 weeks. So that's why.
So let's talk about that time. So would you, if we're gonna close our eyes, close your eyes right now. Close your eyes. Let everyone see your closed eyes. Okay. That 3rd time when you dropped out, you said the first 2 times you didn't put the work in. The 3rd time, what went wrong that was your fault?
I burnt out.
Okay. Oh, wonderful. Okay. So now open your eyes. When you say burnt out, why did you burn out?
My studying was not effective.
Okay. There we go. All right. There. Okay. 1, your studying was not effective. We're going to drill this down. Okay. What else? Because, and this is the other thing, guys, a lot of times, when we talk about studying being effective or not effective, too often we see studying as not effective as a primary issue. So you guys only attack it from one side. You say, okay, listen, I'm not an effective studier, so I need to learn hacks. But if you guys have heard me talk, hacks, tricks, trips, well, is garbage. What you want is techniques, skill sets, strategies, systems to work it. But that comes later. If your studying is ineffective, it's often a secondary situation. And what we have to do is get to the root of that. And so for you, why was your studying ineffective? 1, you didn't have the skills you needed, obviously. But what other things led to you being an ineffective student that were not just your actual studying in that moment, your actual skills? What else led you to being ineffective in your studying?
I think a lack of schedule. I didn't even have a schedule.
Perfect.
Even routines, habits. I didn't really have any. I didn't have post-study, pre-study routines.
Perfect.
It
Okay,
it was
so I love it,
uncertain.
right? So this is the beauty of the 5 pillars, right? Is that with the 5 pillars, guys, if you guys don't know, my course, the 5 pillars studying lesson, get better grades, is a complete study system. Same system I used in college, grad school, medical school, that all my students use. And the beauty of the 5 pillars is that we don't attack one aspect of your studying. We attack everything. And it was so great today in our Cult of Greatness group. Someone posted, I think it was Terry, was super excited. She finally got, Terry's been hanging out forever. So much of my class. She finally got into 5 pillars. And she was like, hey guys, I just got into 5 pillars. It looks really long. Can I get a testimonial? Can someone tell me about 5 pillars and if it works? And she's like, I'm really excited. I know it's going to turn my life around. And all my students, because they hang around me too much, right? They were all like, yeah, we're glad you're excited, but recognize 5 pillars is hard. 5 pillars is not easy because 5 pillars is not just about your studying. It's a lifestyle change because oftentimes it's life that gets in the way of your studying and makes it ineffective. So when you talk about not having a schedule, not having a routine, not having habits, you're hearing my voice, Layla, and I'm so happy that you're hearing my voice in that 5 pillars, and that we recognize without a schedule, you will not be an effective student,
Mhm.
period. And the problem with many of your guys' schedules, you do the same thing on the MCAT as you do with your classes. You guys make these cockamamie schedules that don't take into account your individuality, your individual obligations, your individual things that you have to consider in your life. And so, first of all, we got to make a schedule. So Layla had no schedule. Oh my gosh. And the problem with having no schedule is the sequelae, which you mentioned, Layla. You have no routine and you have no habits. The key to being an effective student, guys, you have to be consistent.
Yeah, that's
You,
my biggest problem.
yeah, that's why you're bipolar, right? You're that bipolar student because they're not
Yeah.
consistent and that's why we're burnt out. You
Mm.
have to be consistent as a student if you want to be successful. If you
Mhm.
guys take nothing away from tonight or from me or whatever, you guys will hear me preach it to the end of the earth. A consistent student is a confident student and is a capable student. If you want to be an amazing student, it starts with consistency. No hack is going to get you the A. Consistency gets you the A. And that's why if you guys have tried these, like some on TikTok, 15 seconds, give you study hack, and then you struggle and you wonder why you didn't get an A, because that's not how it works. Straight A's aren't made in one day, they're made every single day. So we got consistent. So with consistency, why having a schedule is so powerful is because when we have a schedule, and we talk about making these schedules, things we consider, okay? A big takeaway from making a schedule, if you guys don't know how to do this, is that you must make your schedule very consistent and to the point where it's very routinized. So full of routine. So every day almost should look exactly the same. And the
Oh, okay.
reason we want it to be exactly the same, right? We want to live boring, routine lives. Like an anesthesia. I'm an anesthesiologist for people who are not paying attention. Let me reset. Let me go back. We're at 30 minutes now. I'm Dr. Pinesett. I am the study doc. We are live doing coaching right now with Layla on YouTube. Everyone should be on YouTube with us. It's /study doc learning with us. Okay. Layla has struggled with her studying, and we are talking about ways to make her studying better and to help her overcome the feelings of overwhelm and burnout that cause her to drop out from school. We're going to fix that as she transitions back in to be effective. Okay. Every single Monday at 4 p.m., we're going to be live on the Clubhouse app and on Facebook, right? At the study doc. And then at 5 p.m., we're live doing student coaching at 5 p.m. On YouTube. Okay. Every single Monday. Make sure you guys, if you're on YouTube, subscribe, turn on live notifications. Some of y'all are on Instagram right now watching this live for a second here. Tell a friend that we are here and we are live action on Mondays. Lots of coaching, lots of opportunities to get better for you guys. If you're watching right now and you're enjoying what you're seeing and you're ready for more, make sure you guys take a second, like the video, take a second. And I see people already bigging up Layla in the box. Thank you guys. Big up Layla because she's here showing her soft underbelly to help us all learn and to get herself better. And as we talk about consistency is key to being a great student, the key to being a great person and maximizing your potential is being willing to say, I need help. And too many of you guys struggle. Too many of you guys are stressed out. You guys are closet strugglers. How many of y'all are closet strugglers? where you are stressed out, where you are overwhelmed, where you know you are not capable, as you're currently constructed, of getting the grades you want, but instead of asking for help, you act like a pompous know-it-all and you put a fake front on and act like you know what's up, when in actuality you're struggling like a big dog, right? It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to ask for help, and the fastest way, the surest way to be successful is ask for help. Okay, so okay, so here we're saying the problem with no schedule is that when you don't have a schedule, and then you go to make a schedule, but that schedule is not routinized, meaning that every day is not very, very similar. Routine is the route, as I say in the 5 pillars. We got to have routines. Why? Because it's through routine that we build habit. And the reason it's important to build good life habits, and specifically good study habits, is because when something is a habit, what does it mean when something's a habit? I'll ask that question. Make you guys think for a second. Layla, what does it mean? What is a habit? Define habit for me. A study habit or life habit. What does habit mean?
It's something that is repetitive, and it has a loop, which is cue, routine, reward, and
Yeah,
it
you've been
keeps
taking notes in 5 pillars, right? Cue, routine, reward. The habit loop. When something's a habit, we don't have to think about doing it. We just spring into action and we do it, right? It's memory. It's habit. Oh, boom, right? Cue, routine, reward. Pavlov's dogs. Bell rings, right? Routine. Dog salivates, runs over, gets the food. Ooh, that's the reward, right? Bell, routine, reward. We want to treat ourselves like lab rats. Cue, routine, reward, right? So in my 5 pillars course, we have routines for everything. Layla was talking about pre-study routine, post-study routine. We got all kind of routines. Why? Because we want a routinized life. The reason many of you guys feel overwhelmed, many of you guys feel burnt out, is because your lives are chaotic. You never know what the day may bring. You never know what this day's going to look like, what that day's going to look like. And your life is filled with tiny decisions. And the problem with decisions, the central reason why we're not consistent is we procrastinate. But the reason we procrastinate, the reason we avoid doing things we're supposed to be doing, is because we haven't made those things a habit. We've given ourselves the option, the choice. We have to make a decision. Yeah. And the problem with decisions is that every time we have to think about something, we only have one brain, y'all. And every time we have to think about something, it's tiring our brain out. Our brain has a thing called cognitive load and cognitive capacity. We're not going to get super technical, okay, with this. But the point is you have a finite amount of brain power every day that you can use. It's the easy way to think about it. You have a jar. Imagine walking around, you got a jar, right? Some of y'all walk around. Shannon right now is on a mission to drink more water, my wife, okay? And so she went and bought a gallon jug from Amazon. And she carries this gallon jug around. It has a little shoulder strap and everything for her. She carries this gallon jug of water around all day to remind herself to drink water every single day, okay? For you guys, when we talk about these routines, I want you guys to think about yourself as walking around with a gallon jug of brain power. Every single time you use your brain, you're pouring out some of that brain power. You're pouring out some of that brain power. You're pouring it out. What you want to do to conserve brain power, to keep yourself from being burnt out, is you want to make your life very routinized, very habitual, so that way you aren't, right? Someone just said decision fatigue. You don't want to inundate yourself with decisions. There must be a fire in my house. It's the beauty of life. Someone set the smoke detector off in my house right now. My kid is probably whittling sticks together right now, started a fire in my home. Can I continue, or is the beeping too much for people? Should I investigate, see if my house is on fire? Okay, let's take a pause for a second here. Layla, remember where we are. Everyone remember where we are. I want to make sure my house is not burnt. Wait.
I'm taking notes. I remember.
Okay, wait. Okay. Exactly. Aaron just said it. I'm spitting so much hot fire into the microphone right now. Smoke detector going off. That's what's happening. No, it's okay. Shannon put it out, or the house is on such bad fire that the smoke detector has been scorched and now is no longer beeping. But either way, we're okay. We're okay. Remember these lessons, y'all. This might be the last one. Fire is coming. Okay. So anyway, So imagine this brain power in this jar. And so we create decision fatigue, right? We're exhausting our brain by making all these decisions. The other problem, are we okay? It stopped going off. Are you burning the house down? What's happening? Sorry, guys, we are live. Shannon is here to give us a full report.
I'm really sorry.
Shannon's on the scene. Shannon on the scene. What is happening?
I'm not burning anything. It's something upstairs. It's going off. I think maybe
You're not cooking or anything? I smell food.
Yeah, but that was earlier. Not now.
Maybe the smoke just got here. You burning it up?
No.
Y'all, Shannon burning food.
No.
Thought she was a cook. Okay.
Anyways,
Everything's okay?
it goes on again.
Okay, is it up here?
It's one of them up here. There's like 4 up here.
Okay, all right. But everything's okay?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. All right, guys, we're gonna survive this. Okay, we're okay. Just a drill. Just a drill. All right. So, you have the decision. So let's get back to it. Reset. We have this jar of brain power. Every time we make a decision, we utilize some of that brain power. When we think about what it takes to do studying, it requires what? Lots of brain power. So you guys as students, you need all the brain power you can get if you are going to be an effective studier. Not tips, tricks, and hacks. You need brain power. That's a start, okay? So the first problem is every time we make a decision, we whittle our brain power down. The second and worse issue, the bigger problem, is that every time we have the opportunity to make a decision, we were talking earlier on Facebook about gambling, why I hate gambling. Every single time we have to make a decision, it's a gamble. And it's a 50-50 proposition at best. Worst, you have multiple choices, 3, 4 choices you can make, and then you only got a 25% chance of success. We have to make a decision, and only one path is the right side of that decision. The other side of it, or the other 3 options, are options that are going to take us off track. They're going to move us further away from our goal. Yeah, go ahead, Layla.
Yes, I completely agree. Sometimes it seems like when you have this decision to make and then you say, I don't want to study, it makes you seem like you're being irresponsible or that you don't have any willpower, you're not trying to exert it. But as you mentioned, I don't believe in willpower because, human nature tends to be comfortable and lazy. So like,
Yes.
I think you're right. Routines, habits, that's the answer.
Yes. So you're exactly right, right? The routine is the route. So as we talk about this, willpower is a myth. So we have a jar of brain power. On the other shoulder, Layla, you got a jar of willpower, sort of, okay? What we must recognize that willpower is technically real, but the ability to sustain willpower is a myth, okay? I want to make sure I haven't lost everybody. Please like the video right now if you're on YouTube and comment. Let me know I haven't lost the room. We're getting in a lot of different spaces. We had a fire going on, but I want to make sure that we're all still. Chisel God in the building. What up? We want to make sure we're still all in sync here. We're still all at it. We can get it. So we got a jar of willpower. We got a jar of brain power. So every time we make a decision, we whittle down that brain power. The other thing that we're doing is we're whittling down our willpower. The problem with being a student is that as we make decisions, oftentimes there's 2 or 3 decision options. The right decision, the decision that's going to make you the A student, is oftentimes the least desirable of the decisions, right? Oh, I can go to a party or I can study. Let me see which one is more appealing, right? Of course, the party's more appealing. The problem with being an A student is that it requires you to make decisions based on the long term and to ignore short-term gratification. You guys hear what I'm saying right now? Because the A happens 16 weeks from now. The A happens 4 weeks from now. But laying in that bed and feeling cozy, so cozy. Y'all, my one big splurge in undergrad was a bed, Layla. I was like, listen, I got to be able to sleep. And I went out and I bought, it was the Sequoia model of some sort. I'll never forget it. The mattress was feet thick. I had to buy special sheets. It was like ultra thick and plush and whatever. It was like a $3,000 mattress, Layla. Can you imagine? $3,000 on just the mattress. No frame, nothing. Mattress, $3,000. It was incredible. Everyone who came over my house, I was like, oh, you gotta try this bed. They lay in the bed like, oh man, what is this? I said Sequoia. Sequoia, right? It's very fancy, right? Laying in that bed, it's like butter. Feel incredible. So how do I make myself? How do I will myself to not lay in that bed for the sake of an A that can't make me feel nice and cozy? That A is months away. I gotta, right? That's the problem. So we have to give up the short-term joy for that long-term joy. The problem is our primitive brain as humans, right? We came up as cave people. Hunt today. Hunter, gather, scavengers. What can I eat today? What can I do today? I'm only going to live to be 29 anyway because I'm a caveman, right? We're not thinking long-term. But now in today's modern society, we can accumulate things. So now we're not working for today. We're working for 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. Some of y'all want to be doctors. You won't be a doctor for a decade. So how do we force ourselves to make the right decision and sacrifice today for a future tomorrow we can't even really see? Let's micro dissect this. The first step is we got to be clear on our vision. And Layla talked about not being clear on that vision. And now Layla's aware of this vision because I talk a lot about, right, having that vision, because how do we create motivation? How do we stave off procrastination? We got to be clear on our vision to create endless and boundless motivation to do the right thing. So when we talk about making decisions, we got to be clear on our vision, our priorities, and make that decision. But that's a topic for another day. But we're talking about how this decision-making goes poorly for us, right? And the problems with it. The problem is the right decision is often the delayed gratification decision, so it's the hard decision to make. As we start the day or we start the semester, it's easier because we have more willpower in our willpower jar to make the right decision. But then every time we make the right decision, we whittle down that willpower. Whittle it down. We got nothing left, and we make wrong decisions. Do you guys notice how you start the day off making good decisions, and by nightfall, man, you're a wreck. You are an awful, terrible, non-productive person by nightfall. Why? Because you've used up all your willpower throughout the day. So what we have to do, right, and Layla hit on it, right, is that we are all lazy, fun-loving procrastinators. I'll be the first to admit it. I am a master procrastinator. If procrastination was in the Olympics, I'd be the winner. Gold medal every single year, taking it home for the great US of A, me. Procrastinator number one, numero uno. But I don't procrastinate that much. Why? Because I put systems in place that protect me from myself. Mm-hmm. One of those systems is an effective, routinized schedule that takes my days and makes them habits. So when I was in undergrad, when I was in medical school, I didn't have to think about when I was studying because I studied at the same time every single day. Get up, get out of bed, make my oatmeal. Y'all know I stir that oatmeal. Make that oatmeal, think happy joy thoughts, play some Sade. Sweetest taboo. Layla, you had heard of Sade, right?
No.
Oh my gosh. You young bucks today. Sade? Okay, Layla, this is other tip for tonight. So you got 2 homework assignments already. One is to watch Moana. Number 1, watch Moana. It will inspire you. Okay, you will be ready. Like, I will be Moana of Moatunu, and I'm here to bring back the heart of Tafiti. Number 1. Number 2, okay? Number 2 is you got to listen to some Sade. But I would stir the oatmeal, listen to Sade. Why? Because Sade is soothing, sultry sounds, and it just would relax me. Because it's easy to get stressed out to start that day about how many things you have to go. But I could be in the moment, right? People talk about centering yourself in meditation, and people make it all complex. I would meditate through oatmeal because I'm stirring the oatmeal. Oh yeah, stirring it, so relaxing. Look, it's the spoon cuts through the oatmeal, and Sade is singing to me, serenading me in the background, and it would just let all my stress come off, and I could be centered in that moment. It's just oatmeal, it's just Sade, it's just me. Life is good, and I could center myself and relax myself. After that oatmeal, I eat that oatmeal, catch up on my morning sports, watch them skip in the morning back in the day, right? And then I would get right to my studying. There's no choice to be made. There's no decision to be made. It's oatmeal, Sade, study. That's it. There's no decision to be made. After the study, you know what I do? Hit the gym. It's a workout. It's not a choice. I don't get to decide if I'm going to the gym or not. Every single day at this time, I go to the gym. It's a habit. I just know where it is. We're going. Okay? Come back from the gym. Hit a shower. After the gym, you know what I'm doing, Layla? I'm studying. My next study block. Boom. Get the studying in. Okay? Taking a break from that studying. What am I doing? Netflix. That was my break of choice. Netflix. Deep in the streets of Netflix. So I've seen Moana, right? Because I'm deep in Netflix. Okay? And then I'm back to the studying. And then I go to sleep early. I'm up early. And I repeat the cycle every single day. And to many of you guys, that may sound boring. That may sound like a life not lived. But that's the way you get to A's, and it's actually a fun life. And the equivalent is anesthesia. I mentioned this, I was trying to get into this a second ago, is that I'm an anesthesiologist, right? And people, what's the stereotype of anesthesiologist? Like if you guys see a meme about anesthesiologist, what's the meme? What's the meme you guys see about anesthesiologists? Layla, what have you heard about anesthesiologists?
That I'm not sure how to explain.
No,
I know what it is. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah. Nab described it perfectly. We do nothing and make money. We are sitting there doing our crossword puzzle, playing Sudoku, feet up on top of the anesthesia machine, collecting a check to do absolutely nothing. That's how people look at anesthesia. Okay? But the reality of anesthesia, what I love about anesthesia, being a person who's a productivity expert, being a person who's highly routinized, what I love about anesthesia is that anesthesia is a preparation specialty. And anesthesia is the perfect example of why being a very scheduled, very habitual student is the key to being a joyful, not burnt out student. Because in anesthesia, it looks like we're kicking back, playing crosswords, legs up, and everything's smooth sailing. But the reason that happens is because we're a preparation specialty. So when we get a patient case, and we get a patient, and there's a case, we will break the patient down, we'll pre-op them, and say, these are things I'm concerned about. We'll look at the case, say, these are things I'm concerned about. And we bring those two things together to come up with a plan that staves off all danger and makes everything go smoothly. So as a good anesthesiologist's job is to make a competent plan to keep the patient totally safe. We call it train tracks. We want the vitals look like this, right across the stream. No flatlining, just like this. So we do all this preparation up first to make the case routine. Okay, we know at this point that they're prone to become hypertensive. So we're gonna give an antihypertensive at this moment, right before it happens. Oh, we know that at this point, their blood pressure might drop because they're going to take the tourniquet down, and we're going to get lots of release of all this dead tissue and this inflammatory stuff. So I know I've got to treat the blood pressure before that cuff comes off to keep it stable. So as an anesthesiologist, we make it look easy. We make it look routine because we prepared. And so because of that, you know what my day is like in the OR? It is easy breezy. I do Sudoku. No, not really. But it's very smooth and very enjoyable because I've made it enjoyable by making it routine, right? I do the same thing the same way every single time. I know this is going to happen, so then I do this. I plan for all these things, so I've foreshadowed. There's no choice. There's no decision to be made. I've reduced all my cognitive load by making everything routinized. And so I get to have fun at work. As students, the reason we get burnt out is because what am I? Oh, what's coming? Oh, whatever. Oh my gosh. Oh, virtual learning, COVID. What? No, I've got a schedule. I've got a routine. I do the same thing every time. I'm consistent. I know when I'm going to study, how I'm going to study, how effective it's going to be. I know everything. So I can chill and kick back and live an anesthesiologist life as a student. So for me, right, it sounds crazy to you guys. You guys who have been to one of my webinars, you guys who have followed me, you guys know. I was in bed Sunday through Thursday night, 8 p.m. Rain, snow, sleet, party of the year, it does not matter. I'm in the bed at 8 p.m. Sunday through Thursday. Why? Because I'm up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. and I'm studying first thing in the morning, Monday through Friday. By doing that, I got all my studying done before the sun came up. And you know what I got to do with my day every day, Layla? I got to chill. I was a beach volleyball champion in my mind. But I got to do whatever I wanted to do every single day. Right? I was joking with Brent earlier about golfing. Brent goes golfing every single day. What? Go to bed, get up, do your work. Right? Then we fast forward to the weekend. Woo-wee! Layla, can I tell you? Back in my day, we used to have things called raves. Okay? I might have been categorized as a raver. I don't like raves, but man, I was partying hard. I was deep in the streets. Deep in the streets, Layla. Glow sticks. Okay? Bedazzled shirts. Okay? All that. Dancing shoes. I had special shoes from a dancing. Recognize. Okay? I was able to do that. And I was able to party my face off totally guilt-free. Why, Layla?
Because you already did all the work before the sunrise.
I already did all the work for the sun went up. My work is done. I've won the day. I've already won. I've already succeeded. And the cool thing is not only am I choosing to party, I wasn't choosing to party. It was written. It was in the schedule. There's no decision to be made. It's party time. It says, it literally would say on the schedule, party time. Get loose. That's what it would say. Just my head would start moving. I'm like, what is going on? What is happening? I'm feeling a funky beat inside me. That's how I would feel. And it's because my body knew cue, routine, reward. It's time to get loose. You did the work. It's time to get loose. That's how you want your life to be. You felt burnout because you weren't being consistent. You fall behind. You don't see a clear path to victory. You're scrambling, struggling, sweating. Every single day is uphill battle. It's only getting worse. You're not moving forward. And then the ultimate collapse is, I gotta, gosh darn, quit. I can't do it anymore. I'm gonna step out. That's how it goes. Because we aren't routinized. So when we talk about, and that's a very, I know it was a subtle point that she mentioned, but it's a huge point. You can see it on her face. Her studying was not effective, A, because she didn't have the skills. She didn't have the 5 pillars yet. She wasn't having those skills. But also, right what the 5 pillars teaches, she didn't have a schedule that was proper. She didn't have the routine, the habits. We got to build all that stuff in to change her lifestyle if she's going to be an effective student. Does that make sense right now to everybody? That's why you are burnt out, is because you don't have systems in your gosh darn life. You feel out of control. You feel, I'm right with the words, feel out of control, feel overwhelmed, love learning, but struggling, right? Bipolar student, anxious, all these words. And if you guys are honest, that's how you feel. And the reason you feel that way is because you're sitting here, you don't have a plan. You don't have systems in place. You don't have infrastructure. And like I like to say, a quality schedule defends from chaos. It creates certainty in the face of the unknown. Recognize, guys. Forget hacks. Forget tips. Forget tricks. We've been on here 53 minutes. How long is 5 pillars? Layla, you're a third of the way through 5 pillars. How long is 5 pillars? It's years long. Why? Because if you want to be a completely unstoppable student, y'all, it's not one thing. You got to change your whole life up.
Yeah.
And Layla, what you're going through right now, and I love to hear it from you, I can hear my words in you, is that you're going through a transformation, right? That's why our student coaching program is the Total Student Transformation. You're starting that transformation. You're on that journey. And right now what's happening is this is what often happens to students who get in my course, is you're in a mode right now of cognitive dissonance. You're worried about now going back into school with this new stuff. Why? Because you failed so much in the past, because you feel kind of unsteady, because you have a lot of new stuff you've learned from me that you're going to try to implement, and you're worried you're going to repeat your past failures. And so what you have to recognize, if you're transitioning back into school, here's the things you need to do. You ready? The first thing is you need to take it slow. Don't make the mistake, as many of you guys do, you non-traditional people, or you people who've had a break from school or whatever, where you're like, oh, you know what? I stepped out, I took a break, or I had a pause, I had whatever. I'm behind. So in order to get caught up, I got to do more. I was taking 3 classes before, and now I missed a term. I'm gonna take 4 classes to get caught up. Right? I was making fun of Dijon the other day because he was getting bad grades, and then he was all of a sudden enrolling in multiple classes in summer session to fix it. And he's like, yeah, I was doing that. And he's the wrong way. Recognize. Ease back in, Layla. Take the minimum amount of classes you can this upcoming term.
Yes.
Is that what you're going to say?
Yes, I took as less as I could, but I had to be full-time to get the bursaries.
Perfect.
One of my classes is Spanish, and I actually love to learn Spanish, so it's like fun in the middle of my science classes. In total, it's 13 credits.
Yeah, so you're keeping it light. And then also, guys, we got to think outside the box. So when we talk about, okay, I take the minimum number of credits, do all those credits have to be real classes? Or can we take seminar classes? Can we take classes we enjoy? Maybe a Spanish class, maybe it's easy for us. Can we fill our schedule with units that aren't going to be so challenging to us so that we can ease back into school? Why do we want to ease back into school, guys? Because we want to start building confidence. We don't want to go right back and feel overwhelmed. We want to ease in, build our confidence, create opportunities for us to improve, for us to get better. Baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. Man, my voice is so good. My voice, man. Guys, I quit. I am no longer a study expert. I will now move on to my second career, professional singer. Is American Idol coming back this year? Do you know, Layla? I'm ready. I think this year should be my year, American Idol, y'all. American Idol, season 35. Dr. P, all the way. Will you guys support me? Will you vote for me? Anyway, but the point is baby steps. So take a small amount of classes. The classes you do take, let's try to fill it with some filler right now, okay? Ease your way back in. Don't rush. The second thing is now you've got some time before classes start. Before you start thinking about those classes, you got, what, like 3 weeks before school starts? 2 weeks?
I have like 8 days left.
Okay, 8 days? That's a short amount of time. Start implementing. Don't learn more of the 5 pillars. Implement. Pillar 1, pillar 2, implement those. Get clear on your motivation. Get clear on all the barriers in your life, all the things that are knocking you down. Get clear on your scheduling, right? Have you got to scheduling yet?
No, I actually almost finished with pillar 1.
Okay, we'll keep going. So you got 8 days. Finish pillar 1. You're taking incredible notes. Get to pillar 2 so we can get the scheduling. Okay? In pillar 2, you're going to get that scheduling. Get that down. And then what you do, again, we're not going to try to do everything, right? Create a competent schedule. A schedule where you've implemented pillar 1 and you've accounted for all the barriers to your study effectiveness. Okay? Just start there. Okay? Ease your way in and set your goal this term. Change what is success to you, Layla, because we want to create confidence. We want to create momentum. So to create that momentum, we're going to reframe what success is. So instead of saying, I got to get A's, I got to not fail, I got to focus on the grades are nothing. Push that away from you. Excuse me, guys. It's 2 hours of talking getting to me. Everybody still with me? Y'all having fun? Is it okay that my voice cracked? Like the video right now. Oh my gosh. I almost died of dry mouth right there. Excuse me. Reframe what is victory, what is success. And what I want you to do, and everyone can have this goal, right? Is that I want you guys to change, right? What is my goal? Let's see. Who knows? Who can put in the box, or Layla, if you want to answer, what do I call success?
I know what it
success
is.
To me? Oh, did I just flex the Stanford water bottle? Let me go ahead and sip this again. Should I point to my Stanford diploma over here? Oh, I don't know if you guys know this. Layla, did you know this? Right now, you think you're talking to someone who's wise and expert. But according to Reddit, I don't know if you guys have heard this, I am actually a fake doctor. So what Reddit says, guys. I don't know if you guys know this. Or maybe it's SDN. I think it's SDN. SDN, someone, Insider 45.9, he says that I'm a fake doctor. And so that's why I had to go ahead and put these up for you guys so we could get some facts in this world. But For you guys who like SDN, apparently I'm not a real physician. I just learned that from Reddit. They said I can't find it anywhere on Google that he's a doctor. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. Anyway, okay, so let's get back to it. I always got to rib SDN and Reddit as much as I can because it's a trash place for trolls. SDN is second to only TikTok in the lowest form of social constructs ever. Okay, so I'll say that. Now to get back to it. My goal, right, and people are putting in the box, it's simple. Every single day, I define success. Did I learn something? Secondly, did I help someone? And for you, Layla, right, and I started this in undergrad. It was very simple. Your success is in consistency. So every single day, I want you to set a realistic number of study hours that you're going to study. A realistic number. Don't start 10 hours a day. Say, listen, I'm going to get 2 hours in. 2 hours in, okay? And these 2 hours, all that I request of myself, all that I demand of myself, I'm not going to say I got to read this chapter, I'm going to read this. If I spend 2 hours at the desk, not checking my phone, not checking social media, studying every single day, if I do that for a day, that day is a victory. That's all I want you to do. And Layla, the reason that you're going to feel good about just doing 2 hours, because right now, some of y'all out there, and maybe Layla said, she's like, 2 hours is not enough time for me to get an A. That's what you're thinking, right?
Yeah.
How did I know that, Layla? Oh my gosh, I've been coaching for too long. That's what you think.
Because your 2 hours is equivalent to 8 hours of my
it
study.
is. It is. But let me ask you this, and this is the question. I'm going to flip it back to you. Ready? If you studied 2 hours a day, 7 days a week, would you get better grades than what you've been doing?
Yes.
I've never, ever had a student say no. And when they do, then I spend the next 30 minutes telling them why they're wrong. Because the truth is, guys, when I say I studied 10 hours a week in college, people freak out about that. And they're like, oh, you're lying. Just like I'm not a real doctor. But the reality is, I was able to study only 10 hours a week, because I had skills, obviously, right? But more importantly than skills is that I was consistent. I didn't allow myself to fall behind. I was so consistent making the A's every single day, getting the studying in, is that when we really think about it, most of you guys don't study 10 hours every week. You feign it. You go to lecture, you're in group study, whatever. I was 10 hours so focused, so on it every single day. It makes a difference. So Layla, for you, your grades are going to improve. I promise you, I swear. If you just study 2 hours a day and start out, do 7 days a week. What the heck? Just start there. And check it out. If you do a week and you're studying 2 hours a day for a week, what can you do the second week?
The same thing?
Or if you're like, yeah, I can do more, I'm feeling confident in myself, maybe you bump it to 3 hours a day. But do you see how we're easing ourselves in? We're setting a low bar, realistic goal, but it's going to be effective for us. I promise y'all. 2 hours a day keeps the doctor away. Better yet, 2 hours a day keeps the F away. That's our new expression around here. 2 hours a day keeps the F away. I'm going to get that on a t-shirt. 2 hours a day keeps the F away. Just be consistent. Just start there. Some of y'all want to be rocket scientists day one. Just be consistent. That's why pillar 1, pillar 2, it's all about consistency. Nothing else. I don't teach you any actual study techniques in the first 2 pillars. Why? Because it's everything else that's stopping you first. Great studying, 3 things. First is mindset. Second thing, right? So it's confidence. Second thing is consistency. Third thing is competence. I don't care how many hacks you have. If you're not consistent, it don't matter. So consistency. So Layla, that's your objective. If you can do those things this week, okay, you're going to finish pillar 1, get to pillar 2, learn how to schedule, put a schedule together. And Layla, are you in TST?
I mean, I have the 21-day student makeover.
No, are you on our TST student coaching? So when you get in 5 pillars, you have the option to add coaching. How are you not in TST? What is going on with that? Here's what we're going to do. You came on here, you coach with us. I'm going to give you 6 months free of TST. Okay? So after this call, right? I have your email. You already emailed me. I'm going to email you, and I'm going to give you a link. You're going to get in TST. We just had coaching this past Saturday. So our next coaching is next Wednesday. Okay? So we're going to come to coaching. And as part of this coaching, what's great about this is my students are second to none, y'all. That's why, like, I don't really need social media. Like, social media, you guys are cool. Like, I love all y'all. That's cool and everything. But I really love my students. We have the best, easily the best students in the world. They're incredible, right? Alyssa's on here, like, join us, come with us, right? We have so much fun in coaching. So we coach like all day when we have our coaching. It's so much fun because everyone is striving and they're striving in the right direction and it's fruitful. And like, I sat back at TSC this past weekend and we talked for like an hour of the session. Sessions are 90 minutes. We talked for an hour of the session. I was just sitting back and my students were teaching other students. It was beautiful. Speaking straight from like what I would say, but it was from them. And it was amazing. Like it's a cool thing to see people change and morph and become what their goal is. And then like be helping other people get there. Right. So it's cool. So I want you to come to that group because it's going to be really great for you to see other people around you. And part of that, the reason I want you in that group is that I want you to see your finish line. I want you to see the various stages of all of us along the line because you'll have confidence then like, oh, no, wait, he's right. That 2 hours a day, it will keep the F away. These students are doing this and they are succeeding and you're going to get there. So it's great for that. But then also you'll be able to touch base and we'll be able to follow up and say, okay, listen, what's going on? We'll troubleshoot, but I want you to sign up for that because I want you to bring your schedule to our next coaching session.
Okay, perfect.
So you'll make the schedule, you'll bring it to the coaching session, we'll pull it up on the screen and I won't critique it. I'll let the students critique it. Because they'll be able to critique it because they got the wisdom. They are me, but younger and better looking. That's my students, younger and better looking. But they'll be like, oh no, Layla, that's wrong. Fix this. We'll move this around, and they'll be able to critique your schedule, and we'll maximize it for you. And you'll start there, and we'll build all these skills for you because we grow together as a group. But that's how you want to get it done. Perfect. Does that make sense? And you just start there. Don't put too much pressure on it. Hey, low amount of units, get consistent, and you'll start building. And we had that conversation today too, like in our Cult of Greatness group. If you guys don't know, I have a free group on Facebook. It's totally free. Cult of Greatness group. You guys can come hang out with us. Is that, and that's how I'm picking these students. So Layla joined my Cult of Greatness group. Did you join yesterday? I think yesterday, right?
Yeah, a little bit before.
A little bit ago. But she put a comment in there. So every week I'm selecting the student who gets coached from my Cult of Greatness group. But we were talking about, and one of the threads was about how long it takes to get straight A's after you get in 5 pillars. And it varies for people. Some people get 5 pillars. They have a little bit of work to do, and they get A's very quickly. But it was like unanimous across the board. Everybody's like, yeah, give it like a semester. By second semester or third semester, it's straight A's. Like, just works like butter, right? So, and then it's straight A's for perpetuity, for forever. Take your time. Take your time. You went from dropping out last term. So our goal this term is not to drop out and to get competent grades. And to feel good about yourself. Once we feel good, then we make that next jump. And all of a sudden we're crushing it. Oh, snap. We're getting A's. And then we're getting easy A's. Oh, snap. And then, Layla, your shoulders be doing this. See this, shoulders? Imagine sitting down to study and your shoulders do this. What, like Lil Duval killing him with the shoulder? Oh, killing studying with the shoulder. That's how it is. I love to study. Oh, my gosh. You give me an opportunity to study? I'm like, oh, my gosh. I love to study because I know that studying allows me to crush the souls of everyone else in my classes. I show up to test day. Woo-wee, I get a wide berth. People move away. The seas part when I walk into a classroom because they know I'm setting that curve. And there's nothing better, y'all. Tell me, y'all, is it not the worst feeling ever to go into a test knowing you're about to bomb it? The reverse of that and the best feeling ever is to walk into a test and to know not only are you prepared, but you're so prepared that it's almost a mockery. You almost didn't bring a pencil because it ain't even worth it. You don't even need a pencil. You're that strong. That's where you want to get. And for you, Layla, you will get there. It's not going to happen overnight. All my students, y'all recognize, you guys are like, oh, wait, should I get in Dr. P's 5 pillars? You're not going to be me overnight. But I give you all the tools, all the systems you need to become me in your time. Does that make sense to everybody? This is what we have to, like, what we get to. And I'm telling you, if you work it, you will get there. But it starts, Layla. We've got to reframe our past failure, create a little bit of confidence, create a little bit of good feeling, and recognize that we are capable. You're capable. I'm telling everybody, I'm not smarter than anybody, but I got consistent. And then I got competent, and snap. Hard work delivered repeatedly, consistently, at a high level is gosh darn defeated. It's undefeated. Undefeated. Yeah. Okay. So recognize. Oh my gosh, I love this. Layla, can you see that? What am I saying? This is what you want. You want people recognizing greatness when they see it. The student said, "We got our exams back. The professor announced the highest grade was a 110. Someone looked back at me and cursed me out. Never felt so good." That's how it is. That's what you want. You want to get to the place where it's like, when they're like announcing the scores, are like, gosh, dang it, that kid. And you want to get to the point. The next level is when you are in a class. Layla, imagine how good this is going to feel. When you enroll in a class, you walk up to the class the first day, and when the students see you, they want to curse you out. That's the ultimate. When it's the first day of class and they see your face and they're like, not her again. There's no better feeling. And it's not about
To be honest,
what do you say?
To be honest, I'd rather help the person to go through the same path as me. I don't want people to feel bad that if I succeed.
But here's the power, is that once you succeed, you're not the crazy person anymore. You're not the undesirable. Everybody's going to come to you and ask you how you're doing it. And that creates an opportunity. And for too many students, y'all trying to help people before you help yourselves. That's why I think social media is bonkers. How can you help someone get into medical school if you're not in medical school?
Yeah.
How can you help someone become the A student if you haven't dedicated yourself to really becoming a studying expert? I can't get over that. Like, people are like, oh yeah, come, I'm gonna teach you tips and tricks. Like, if you are not a study expert, sit the heck down and let people who really are in it to win it teach people. I don't understand. But this is what happens on social media. Y'all following future doctor so-and-so. Who? Who's a what's a? I don't get it. So in this situation, understand the beauty of being great is that you can use your greatness to help other people. And that's what I'm saying. My student group is so amazing because they understand when you are great, and this is the other thing that happens, right? How many of you guys, when you have a little bit of success or you find out about an opportunity as a pre-med and you keep it to yourself because you're worried someone else might get at it and you might be left out. But when you are great, there's no hate. There's no jealousy. There's no envy. There's no nothing. Because you know, if we got the same two things, cream rises to the top, y'all. So either way, I can get mine. You can get yours. We don't have to be in competition. We don't have to be envious of each other. We can grow and be amazing and incredible together. So yeah, you can help those students. But before you can help them, you got to help yourself. And we got to get your confidence up. And part of that confidence is going to come from other students admiring you. Because, right, for some of y'all, we talked about this, was it Sunday night, yesterday? And we were talking about, right, if you guys didn't see that video, go back and watch that video on my YouTube channel, is we were talking about how do we create emotional fortitude? How do we build up a strong mindset where we're confident in the face of all the people being negative around us, of us being negative to ourselves? And I walked through my I Can framework. I worked through a framework. So guys, check that video out on my YouTube channel, right? We've got to change that mental framework. We talked for an hour about this, of building that confidence. And sometimes it's hard for us to believe ourselves. Like, if you were to look in the mirror and say, I'm a great student. That's why I think it's ridiculous. People are like, fake till you make it. I'm a great student. Like, that's trash. Because everything around you is telling you you're not a great student. Every person around you is telling you you're not a great student. So we have to build confidence. And sometimes it's about getting around the right supportive people who can honestly give you positivity. You guys know I'm very, very harsh because I don't believe in making you feel good and it being empty. You know it's empty. But if we can be from a real place, and I can tell you can be great, and I can tell Layla from a truthful place, Layla, you can be incredible. You can get A's. I've never met a student who couldn't get the A's. As long as they write, everything I am or ever will be is a direct result of me. My effort, my care, my focus, and my decisions. You put the right effort in, you care enough, you focus in, and you make the right decisions, use an A student. That's the end game. So all of you guys on here. Go ahead, Layla. What?
You said effort, care, focus.
You're in 5 pillars. You got to get this. So everyone, write this down right now. Actually, I'll put it in the comment box. Let me type this in the comment box so we can we can see it. I'll put my notes away for a second here. Someone else put it in the box too. Let's see. There we go. It's in the box. Everything I am or ever will be is a direct result of me. My effort, my care, my focus, and my decisions. If you choose to be great, Layla, you will be great. You've got the skills. You made the and that's why we were yucking it up on TST, having fun in my student group, and I'm like, we don't recognize just by showing up, just by enrolling in my course, but then you enroll in my course, you sign up for coaching, and then you don't come to coaching. What are you doing, right? But by signing up for a course, for taking the course, right? Now clearly you taking notes because you remember the stuff I've been saying, right? By coming to coaching, you're making the decisions. You're putting yourself in a position. So you've already started down the path of success. Keep it going. Don't trip. Don't dread. Don't be nervous. Recognize your greatness is right in front of you. Keep on walking. Keep on trucking and moving and shaking. The greatness is there. Yeah. You get it? You got it? You going it?
Yes, perfect. I got it.
Okay. All right.
Can
Is
I
that helpful
please
today?
ask?
Yeah, you can ask another question. But have we been helpful so far?
Very much so, yeah.
Okay. Keep going. What's the next question? All right, is everybody all right? We're at 1 hour and 16. I try to keep every week I say we're gonna do 30 minutes of coaching, 30 minutes of coaching, 30 minutes of coaching, and we never end on time. Next week it's 30 minutes of coaching. But go ahead and ask your question. Go ahead.
So I just want to make sure. So you said that I need to finish the pillar 1.
Yes.
Finish pillar 1, and then when I went to pillar 2, go straight to the schedule, like skip the others, go to schedule. Is it the one that is a 50-minute video?
No. Don't skip anything. Watch all of pillar 2.
Okay. Watch.
Oh, okay. Wait. Never ever skip. So if you guys are in 5 pillars, or you're thinking about getting in 5 pillars or any of my courses, I know that's our tendency, right? We're trying to shortcut things. Never, ever skip any modules in my courses. I know they're long and they're hours and hours. They're not a 15-minute TikTok with Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas playing in the background. But watch every single video as you go through.
Okay.
Yeah. Watch every. You may not think it applies to you. It does. It all builds, right? Because it's a system. So every brick has to be in place for the system to work.
So I watch all of pillar 2, especially the schedules. And then I already made a schedule, by the way.
Yeah, but I don't care. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear about it because it's going to be wrong. So watch pillar 2 and make it right. And I say that only from experience. I know your schedule's not going to be great. It'll be there, but it doesn't serve anyone to work with an uninformed schedule. And this is the equivalent. It's like when people say, "Oh, I'm doing a mock interview with a medical student," and I'm like, "Oh gosh," or people are like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing I'm having a medical student, or I'm having my friend look at my personal statement." If you practicing is great or doing something is great, but if you're doing it wrong or practicing it wrong, it's how you get hurt, right? We're talking about exercising earlier. If you don't know how to use a squat machine, you shouldn't be on the squat machine. You got to learn how to use it or you can get seriously hurt. And it's the same way with scheduling, it's with everything, is get informed first. It's like people ask me like, hey, you do personal statement review, application review. I do personal statement reviews, application reviews all the time. But I will not review personal statements for people who are not in my application course. Why? Because it's a waste of my time and a waste of yours for you to give me some garbage personal statement based off what SDN said when you could have taken my course, had an exact structure of how to write your personal statement in secondaries, and then we can actually work at a higher level. I can't be bored with you at such a basic level. So for you, Layla, learn how to schedule the right way. Put that schedule together. It's going to make all the difference. You got 8 days. It won't take you 8 days to get through pillar 2. Get through pillar 2. Sit down and say, okay, listen, this is what he said. These are the exact steps to make a schedule. It's literally going to walk you step by step. It's like, I think it's 11 steps to making a schedule. You'll walk step by step by step by step through that to make your schedule. And then you'll be able to breathe. And then we'll review it. And you're the money. Okay. Everybody got it? For you guys on YouTube right now, There is a discount link for my 5 pillars if you guys are interested in 5 pillars in the description box below. So check that out. If you guys want to get in 5 pillars for a discount, it's in there. There's also a discount on my course, How to Double Your Study Efficiency, which is the first of my 5 pillars. So the one that Layla just completed, the first pillar was so powerful, I pulled it off and made its own course that will double your study efficiency. So pillar 1, and then if that's how to double your study efficiency, then the rest of the 5 pillars, all of it together, including that first pillar, are included in the 5 pillars. Then let's get better grades. So check those out, guys. Layla, thank you so much for coming on here. I'm
Thank you
excited to see
very
you in
much
TS.
for
I'm
having
excited
me.
to see you in TST. I'm gonna see your confidence blossom. I see Nina on here, and Nina's making fun of my Stanford mug, but Nina is my latest. Oh, Nina, you're lucky I'm on my laptop right now. I'd pull up your Shane picture. I have a Shane picture of Nina. She's one of my students in my coaching group, and I took a picture of her because she was in my application boot camp. So I have a program where people learn how to do the application, and then I go and I review the personal statements. Right, we have application boot camp, and Nina's one of my application students. And through the process, she was like, I just don't know if I'm going to get in. I don't know if I'm good enough to get into medical school. And as she was talking this trash on herself, I screenshot her on our Zoom call. Took a screenshot of her, and I grabbed it. And then I called it the Shane picture. And so I was like, okay, Nina, in this moment, you're doubting yourself. You're doubting if your personal statement's good enough. You're doubting if you're good enough. You're doubting if you know enough, blah, blah, blah. I said, I'm taking this picture. This is the Shane picture. When you get accepted, I'm going to blast this picture in coaching. And sure enough, Nina got accepted this cycle to medical school. So we showed the Shane picture on coaching last month. So recognize where you are right now, Layla. I can see the lack of confidence in your face. I can see the anxiety in your face. Relax and breathe. You're going to be okay. Baby steps. Okay?
Okay.
Relax and breathe. Don't make me take a shit. You know what? I'm gonna take I'm a screenshot. Hold on. I'm gonna take a Shane picture of you now. So that way when you're succeeding, you're getting A's, we can look back at this picture. Oh wait, actually, okay, wait. It's not gonna let me take it. Not gonna let me take a Shane picture. Oh, you know what? I can. This is recorded on YouTube. I can take the screenshot. So smile. Bam. Okay, I'm gonna take that off the YouTube channel. We're gonna use that. And now that you're part of TST, we're gonna have that in a couple months now for when you're doing incredible. We're gonna put that up in TST, and that's gonna be your Shane picture. Yeah, breathe. You're gonna
Thank
be
you.
okay.
Thank you very much for your very powerful advice and for the TST, the 6 months. It means a lot to me. Thanks a
Oh,
lot.
100%. Right. This is why I'm here. I'm on a mission. Empower a million students. Where you are now and how you feel and the experiences you've had are the exact reason I work with students. Because I don't want any student having the experience where they feel completely lost, overwhelmed, burnt out. They feel like there is no path of success and it causes them to drop out. And I'm so thankful for you, A, that you got in my 5 pillars, and B, that you are getting back on your journey. Because for a lot of students, right, they take that semester off, and that semester off becomes 2 semesters off and 3 semesters, and it becomes a perpetuity where they never go back to school. So I commend you for getting the help you need, 1, and 2, getting back on that quest, getting back on that journey, and rocking it and going to create your future. And it's going to be okay, right? But we can't. There are too many students out here struggling for no reason, and so we've got to fix that. And you're in a position now, Layla. You're going to be great. You're going to be incredible. It's not going to be overnight, but we're going to baby step this thing to your greatness. That's the key. And again, we've got to change. It's got to start here. Change your perspective of what is success. Just consistency. That's all you got to do. And I promise you, if you're consistent, every day you're putting that work in, you will have better grades. You will have made it through, not burnt out, and you would have made it to the end of the term with better grades. And in the next term, they're going to be even better. And they're going to be even better. And then they're going to get easier. Better and easier, better and easier, better and easier. Oh my gosh, I'm studying way, way less. I'm getting way, way better grades. Study less, get better grades. That's the equation. Okay? And all my students, I thank you guys on here for telling her to breathe, right? It's better on the Zoom when we're on our Zoom coaching call on TST because then they can actually say it to you to your face and they can calm you down. But I promise you, it's the truth. If you're in 5 pillars, if you're in TST, your success is coming, guys. And for all of you guys out here, even if you're not in 5 pillars, even if you're not in TST, just work on getting consistent first. Just it'll change your game up. Stop looking for hacks. Stop looking for shortcuts. Just get consistent, and then find ways to improve yourself. And it was funny. I don't know if Spencer's on here right now, but Spencer's one of my students who's in 5 pillars. He just finished straight A's this term, in his, I think he's in a post-bac program. He just finished with straight A's. And so he was like all excited. And it was funny. He said it apologetically in his post. He was like, I got straight A's. I want to thank Dr. Pinesett. You know, I'm going to have 5 pillars, but it wasn't the only resource. Sorry. Like in the box. Like he was apologizing for having other resources. And I encourage all my students, I encourage all you guys, never feel beholden to any one thing. I learn every day about studying. I troubleshoot every day about studying. You should be doing the same. So even if you're in 5 pillars, all my students know they're trying to expand their learning even more. They're trying to learn this, grab this article. It's a never-ending process of getting better, and you should always be putting tentacles out to get better, to seek help, to seek advice, and all these kind of things. And that's why I think the beauty of our group coaching is that it's not just my voice, is that we have students who have become great studiers and great students in their own mind, or not in their own mind, in their own selves, in their own lives. And because of that, they have specific wisdom for troubleshooting certain things that apply to other students in our group. So it's really cool because they're like near peer, like, oh no, I just went through that. I just was in that class. Like I know what's going on. And then they can troubleshoot together. And it's just awesome to see that collective and the power of that. So I'm blessed. I'm fortunate. I love it. So Layla, thank you so much for joining us. And I'm excited to get to really know you in TST.
I'm really looking forward to it. Have a great night.
Yes, you too. All right, bye-bye. How do I do this? I don't even know how to. Okay. All right, guys. Was that a good session today? Hour and 26 minutes. You guys can see, and I think that's the cool part about doing student coaching for all you guys like live getting to watch, is that you guys get to see her face, right? You saw how nervous, how anxious. You understand. For some of you guys, it feels like you're the only person out there struggling. But the I'm getting that tired now. The statistics show you are not the only one. There are other people going through the same thing you're going through. There are other people having the same experience, the same struggle. And the sad fact, the sad reality that the statistics show is that most of you guys, as students, is struggling, is stressing, is having problems. So what we have to do is we have to actively work to improve ourselves and recognize that there is a different level out there for us. There's something that we can do to get better, and we got to start making moves towards it. The best way that I see is getting into my 5 pillars course. But there are plenty of opportunities to improve yourself in ways. But if you're ready to, like, I want to be 100% confident, I want to be 100% independent, I want to be 100% effective, the 5 pillars is the way, guys. I can't put it in any other terms. It's incredible. It's everything you need to be awesome. And when you enroll, you get the lifetime access, guys, lifetime upgrades. We upgraded 5 pillars this year to version 2, or in 2020, right? It's incredible. And then you get an opportunity to get my student group, my student coaching, TST. It's just phenomenal, guys. Like all of it wrapped together. And you're going to see how great you get. And the cool part about it, I talk about empowerment, is that you recognize that, yes, I'm teaching you, yes, I'm showing you the way, but you're walking the way. Your success is your own. And that's powerful because then you recognize, wait a minute, I really am. Everything I am, ever will be, it really is in me. I'm making moves. I'm doing the work. I'm doing this, and I'm getting better. And it's really powerful, and it's really confidence-inducing when you recognize, yeah, Dr. Pinesett was there, but I succeeded because I succeeded. I talk about Nina getting to medical school. She got into medical school not because of me, because she put the work in, right? Spencer got his A's not because of me, because he put the work in. And so it's beautiful when you can succeed on your own 2 feet. You can stand up and say, no, I'm doing this, and you make it happen. And that's what I want for all of you guys, is to be empowered, to be successful, and to get yours. All right. Did we have a good time? Thank you guys very, very much for joining me. If you enjoyed this, take a second. Like the video, guys. It matters. It matters, right? Take a second. Grab the share link for this. Share it to your social media. Let people know, man, if you guys want some learning, if you guys want some motivation, if you guys want some wisdom, if you guys want some connection, come get with us. Okay? Subscribe, turn on live notifications, and let people know we gotta break through the clutter, y'all. We gotta start showing people it's about being real, it's about being honest, it's about being scholarly, it's about being knowledgeable, and it's about bettering yourself. You don't have to settle for what you've been through. You don't have to be your failure. You can be more than that, but you got to step up to it. Okay? If you guys want to connect with me, I have a free Facebook group, the Cult of Greatness group on Facebook. Don't come in there half-stepping, but if you're ready to step up and be great, come get with our group. Okay? check out my website, thestudydoc.com. Get into a course, get into a coaching program, get into a webinar, whatever. In the description box below, I have discount links for you guys. Check out something, get inside something. Get in here. Come on, get with us. Okay? We are live here Monday, 4 p.m. Clubhouse app, 4 p.m. Facebook, right? Simultaneously. 5 p.m. We are live on YouTube doing the coaching. You guys can also catch us on the podcast, right? The Study Doc Show, Dominate Premed Show. I got 2 podcasts. You guys can catch these on the podcast as well. And I thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. Night Shock, I thank you for Night Shock. What is your real name? So I know who I'm talking to. Paris, what up? Paris is in the building, y'all. Celebrity sighting in the building. I see who Night Shock is, so I know who I'm talking to. I got like one tall girl. I got their YouTube alias instead of their real names. I make everybody on our Zooms when we have our coaching, my student groups. I make everybody put their real name in, and if anybody comes in with just a phone number, I always like kick them out of the group. They can't say, "Oh, Brian, what up?" All right, cool. There we go. I got a name to go with it now. But I thank you guys. Man, this is fun. This is fun. All right. How do we always end, guys? Every session? How do we end? How do we send ourselves away feeling amazing? We recognize, we know. I'm not wearing the shirt today to cue you guys. Whatever you're facing, whatever you're going through, whatever your struggle is, come on. You can pull through. You can get there. Stop focusing on the problem. Start turning your attention to the solution. Start turning the solution to getting better. Start turning the solution to be your best. No excuses. Just dominate, y'all. Thank you guys very much. I'll see you all next timer.